she's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
A firestorm has broken out on The View as conservative personality Caroline Leavitt engaged in a heated clash with hosts Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg. What began as a political discussion rapidly devolved into a public relations disaster, triggering intense debates over gender, politics, and the influence of language. How did this dramatic moment unfold? And what implications could it have for the future of the show? The incident that truly ignited the firestorm on The View occurred when Joy Behar, famous for her bold and often controversial remarks, commented on Caroline Leavitt's appointment as White House press secretary. As the discussion shifted to Leavitt's youth and swift rise in politics, Behar casually said, "Well, let's be honest. She probably got that position because of how she looks." The comment, dismissive and sexist in tone, deeply resonated with many viewers. They were appalled, feeling it diminished Leavitt's accomplishments to nothing more than her looks, completely overshadowing her qualifications and successes. Behar's remarks appeared to reinforce the tired and harmful stereotype that women in politics are frequently evaluated more for their appearance than their intellect or professional capabilities.
Outraged ladies of The View, they never fail to bring copious amounts of bile and hate, and one of their targets of late is White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Here is Whoopi Goldberg saying she only got the job due to wokeness. What?
To make things even worse, Whoopi Goldberg, co-host and often regarded as the voice of reason on the show, contributed her own thoughtless comment. She said, "She's young and attractive. Yes, that's likely a factor, but, she also has the right connections." This only added fuel to the fire, with many believing that both hosts were undermining Leavitt's political achievements. For Caroline, the remarks were more than a mere comment. They were an insult to her hard work and commitment. The 27-year-old quickly took to social media, expressing, "It's disheartening that in 2023, a woman's political career is reduced to her appearance, especially by other women. My work speaks for itself, and I'll continue to rise based on the strength of my ideas, not my looks." The public backlash was immediate, with many fans and political commentators criticizing Behar and Goldberg for their tone-deaf remarks, particularly considering The View's reputation as a platform for empowering women.
President in this administration is how well you can do your job, and the American people agree with that sentiment. So it's about competence, skill, and merit. And so the president is focused on ensuring that the most competent individuals, the best and the brightest in this country, are in positions in this federal government.
And
the fallout from Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg's comments didn't end with online outrage. It quickly escalated into legal action. Caroline Leavitt, fed up with the sexist remarks that undermined her political career, filed a defamation lawsuit against both hosts. She argued that their comments had severely damaged her professional reputation and posed a threat to her future in politics. The lawsuit, reportedly valued in the millions, sent shockwaves through the media industry. As the case gained traction, tension behind the scenes at The View became palpable. Producers hurried to manage the fallout, fully aware that the show's reputation was at risk. In a desperate attempt to repair their images, Behar and Goldberg went on air to deliver public apologies. Behar, visibly emotional and with a trembling voice, said, "I deeply regret the words I said. They were thoughtless, and I never intended to hurt anyone. It was a mistake, and I'm sorry if I caused any harm to Caroline or anyone else." Goldberg, clearly fighting back tears, added, "I want to sincerely apologize. What I said was never meant to discredit Caroline. I deeply regret my comments, and I take full responsibility." Their apologies were meant to be heartfelt, they claimed, but the sincerity was widely questioned. Many viewers felt the emotional display was more about saving their jobs than expressing true regret. "They're sorry they got caught," one Twitter user remarked, capturing the public's skepticism. Despite the host's efforts to manage the damage, the controversy only fueled Leavitt's ascent. Her name, already well known in conservative circles, was now everywhere. She wasn't backing down, and the national attention only strengthened her political presence. Social media played a crucial role in amplifying the drama. Levitt's supporters quickly rallied, coming together to defend her and call out Behar and Goldberg for their thoughtless remarks. Leavitt has accomplished more at 27 than most people do in their entire careers, one commenter wrote, highlighting the impressive credentials that Behar and Goldberg appeared to have ignored. Instead of acknowledging her qualifications, the hosts reduced her to a stereotype, which many fans saw as not only sexist, but politically biased. Other users pointed out how the View hosts had undermined a young woman who had fought her way to the top of a competitive field. The backlash was swift and fierce. Justice for Caroline began trending, and within days, Levitt became the face of a broader discussion on the challenges young women face when entering politics and public life. What made the situation even more compelling was that the very controversy seemed to fuel Levitt's career. With each new headline, Levitt's profile continued to rise. Some even suggested she could capitalize on the situation to build her own media platform, perhaps even a podcast tailored to young professionals in politics. What seemed like a PR disaster for The View was, in reality, a golden opportunity for Leavitt. Many of her supporters expressed disbelief at how the hosts, especially Behar, could be so dismissive of a woman's accomplishments, particularly given their history of advocating for women's empowerment. "I've been watching The View for years, but this is a low point. Joy Behar should know better," one viewer tweeted. Another added, "It's disappointing to see The View stoop to this level. Caroline Leavitt is a rising star, yet they're reducing her to a stereotype," critics pointed out. On the other hand, some supporters of the hosts argued that the media was blowing the situation out of proportion. They claimed that Behar and Goldberg's comments were simply part of their tough love style when discussing politics. However, those voices are steadily growing quieter as more fans speak out against the show's actions. As Caroline Leavitt's profile continued to rise, tensions behind the scenes at The View only intensified. Joy Behar, known for her outspoken views, reportedly refused to fully take responsibility for her comments. Instead, she blamed the media for exaggerating the situation. Her failure to offer a sincere apology only deepened the internal tension, frustrating her colleagues who were growing increasingly annoyed by her stance. Whoopi Goldberg wasn't spared from criticism either. Her dismissive remarks about wokeness further strained relationships on the show, especially with newer co-hosts like Alyssa Farah Griffin. Farah, a former Trump aide, took a more moderate approach and felt the situation should have been addressed more thoughtfully. She pushed for a more respectful tone, but her concerns were largely dismissed by Behar and Goldberg. The growing divide among the hosts became unmistakable, with sources revealing that the atmosphere on set had turned toxic. This internal rift threatened the show's unity, leaving many questioning whether The View could maintain its usual dynamic with the hosts, at odds, struggling to recover from the fallout of their own actions. As the lawsuit moves forward, rumors swirl that the show could face cancellation due to the financial strain of the lawsuit and the damage to its public image. If the controversy continues to escalate, we may be witnessing the end of an era for the iconic, long-running talk show. While The View scrambles to salvage its reputation, Caroline Leavitt continues to rise. Her composed, no-nonsense handling of the controversy has earned her admiration from supporters across the political spectrum. She's proving she's not just a political figure, she's a force to be reckoned with. Her dignified response to the personal attacks has further cemented her as a strong advocate for young women in politics. And let's face it, Leavitt isn't just sitting back and waiting for things to settle. Sources have hinted that she's quietly consulting with legal and media experts, ensuring that her story is told on her own terms. Could this be the start of a powerful new chapter for her? Could Caroline Leavitt be preparing to launch her own media initiative and establish herself as a political commentator? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear, she's not backing down. The real question now is whether The View can recover from this scandal, or if this marks the beginning of the end. The lawsuit, internal tensions, and growing public backlash are taking a significant toll, leaving the show's future uncertain. If the hosts can't put aside their differences and address the growing issues, we may be witnessing the downfall of one of TV's most iconic talk shows. As for Caroline Leavitt, this controversy might very well catapult her into the spotlight. With increasing support from young professionals, she's positioning herself as a rising political force. Could this legal battle pave the way for a new media empire? Only time will tell. What do you really think? Can The View survive this? Or is it time for a new era in daytime TV? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more spicy updates.